I don't know what to write. Hey, Snowflake, help me out here. What should I say? If I could just tell him what I wanted, I wouldn't be doing this. Why can't you lend me a paw, Snowflake? Haven't you ever been in love with another cat before? Whatever, I guess it was a little rude of me to ask about your personal life. Fine, I'll just do this myself. I'll tell him how I feel in this letter. To my darling. It feels really strange to call you that. But I promise this isn't a joke. I've known you for most of your life. And I guess I've always just known you were meant to be mine. The truth is, I like you. I don't care if this is not the way to write these things, Snowflake. If you're not gonna help me, you might as well just go to bed. My darling, when my mother and I first came to your world, I didn't know anybody here. You weren't the first human I met, but you were the first to become my friend. When I told you I was from a very cold, very faraway land, you, being you, just shrugged and asked what we should play. Even though you had your questions. You were curious about why my skin always felt so cool to the touch, why it was so fair, why I was drawn to the snow, and why I sometimes hissed at the sun on particularly sunny days. You had your questions, but you never asked them twice when you sensed I wasn't ready to answer them. I wanted to tell you, I really did. But as princess, there are certain secrets I have to keep. You know, it's actually really funny. You used to call me princess all the time to tease me. It used to annoy me so much, because you'd have this really smug look on your face. It made me want to smack you with a snowball. But over time, I grew fond of your little nickname for me. The way you said it changed. You'd have this look of onness, almost awe as you stared into my eyes and called me princess. And I wanted you to treat me like one. You were closer to the truth than you might have imagined. When I told you I was from a very faraway land, I didn't lie to you. It's kind of true. The place just isn't on your maps. My darling, I wanted to tell you the complete truth, but I was afraid of scaring you away. I'm not human. No, really, I'm not. I'm what you would call a snow witch. That's oversimplifying things, but it's close enough. I can create icicles and freeze lakes and cover the parched earth in snow, among other things. But what I'm really responsible for is bringing winter to your world every year. My mother has been doing it for centuries, and now that I've come of age, I'm expected to continue that tradition. I know it sounds crazy, but do you remember how, at the strangest of times, you'd feel a sudden chill in the air around you? Feel a friendly snowball to the back of your head when nobody was behind you? That was me. I'm sorry about that, by the way. I think you always knew there was something unusual about me. You just weren't sure what it was. I'm sorry I waited so long to tell you. My mother thought it would be nice for me to learn more about you humans, what your world was like. And she was right. You've shown me so many things. How to spot rainbows after the rain, and how to tell if an animated series is worth watching. What it feels like to not be cold. You even gave me your hoodies every winter to wear. because it's apparently a tradition between friends. I didn't quite believe you even back then. I still don't know exactly what you were going for back there, I'm not gonna lie. But thanks anyway, for keeping me warm. My darling, I would have been happy to stay in the human world with you forever. Have snowball fights every day. But I can't. It's time for me to return home, to the land of ice and eternal winter. I can no longer ignore my calling. I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you myself. To give you a proper goodbye. You deserve more than this letter. But if I turned around to tell you goodbye, I don't think I could leave. I like you. You've always been my best friend. Thank you for all the memories, my darling. I'm going to miss you. There. It's done. Now I just need to give it to him. You don't mind if I place it under your pillow, right? My darling, you look so peaceful when you sleep. So innocent. So blissfully unaware. I just can't help myself. Shh, it's okay. Just keep sleeping. Just keep dreaming of me. Friends can cuddle, right? You know, I've snuck into your bedroom before while you were sleeping, not gonna lie. I'm sorry I had to use some of my magic to put you into a deeper sleep. Just a little bit. I don't see the problem with us cuddling like this. But it would have taken a lot of explaining. And I wanted you to have a nice, peaceful sleep. You always get this little smile on your face when I play with your hair. I know you're sleeping, but could it be you're dreaming of me? I don't mind the thought of that. But if you're going to dream of me, you have to pay me a tax. A cuddling tax. I don't think Snowflake approves of me sneaking into your bedroom. You know Snowflake. You've played with her before. She's my cat. All witches have one. So, yeah. I won't be doing it anymore. You don't have to worry about me invading your bed after this. I'm really going to miss you. Which is why I brought you back with me into my world. You've been sleeping in my bed this entire time, nestled in my arms. I still can't believe you're here. I'm going to explain everything to you when you wake up. I'll answer all your questions. I'm going to take care of you. I wanted to ask for your permission before bringing you here with me to the winter world, but there was just no time. When the Princess of Winter comes of age, she must choose a consort. Someone who will sit by her side and help her rule over this realm. Someone to keep her happy. Her partner. Her husband. Mother wouldn't let me delay any longer. I had to do this. I'll have no one else but you by my side. Do you hear that? The distant ringing bells of Santa and his elves prepare presents. So many colorful ribbons and lights. The rhythmic sound of clockwork and warm forges buzzing with life. And bells Can you hear the bells again? It's very faint and far away, but in time you'll be able to hear it. You'll see all the stories are real. There are ice elves living in their cities of silver, fair and beautiful like the winter moon. And great dragons whose breath can freeze entire villages, sleeping away in their caves, deep, deep inside the mountains. Beyond this room in my palace, past the window of frosted glass, there are fairies and wolves and creatures of folklore. And I have to look after them and guide them. Keep my subjects happy as their future queen. I told you I'm a snow witch. In the human world, you'd know me as Yuki Onna. But the legends associated with that name, they paint my kind as a jealous, possessive woman. And perhaps they're not wrong. I'd do anything to keep you. I'd have you bound in chains of ice if you tried to leave me. I'd always have my arms wrapped around you so you couldn't escape my touch. My loving embrace. My voice whispering in your ears. But I don't want to force you. I don't want to make you feel like a prisoner in my palace. I couldn't bear the thought of making you sad. We can take trips back to your world whenever you want. We'll hold hands and walk side by side in the snow again. I don't want you to feel trapped. You're not. I promise. I just really hope that you will eventually think of this place as your home. One day. But one day I won't have to wait for you to fall asleep to hold you like this. You know, for some reason there's this mistletoe hanging over my bed. It's very, conspicuous, darling. You'd be making all sorts of comments if you could see it. I don't want you to misread things, okay? This is only a tradition. Pretty boy. You don't know how long I've wanted to do this. I've never kissed you before, even while you were sleeping. Did you feel that? Do you like how I taste? Oh, pretty boy. You're the prettiest, most precious crystal I've ever seen. The kindest soul I've ever met. How could I not claim you as my treasure? It's unfair to even expect such a thing of me, darling. Thank you for your input, Snowflake. Just try being happy for me, for once. I have you. I really do have you now, don't I? My sweet. We have a lot to talk about when you wake up in the morning. And we will, I promise. I hope you'll read my letter and hear what I have to say. But there's no rush till morning, right? The night can stay for a long, long time yet. And you'll stay here, nestled into me, where you belong.